Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Muscletonebullys. 2024 National 20th Anniversary. They have the 20 Rowers theme going. So we're going to be dressed up in these 20s outfits. With little hats and my wife's got this crazy dress. So something we don't usually do, but my wife's excited about it. So, going to be a team player. As well as we are taking Kong. This is probably Kong's last year for Nationals, as we have upcomers that need to be taken out and exposed to the world and shown so we can display, other stock as well. I mean, he's still the king, he's still the legend right now over here. But nevertheless, we are not going to compete in the ring for the first time in 20 years. What we are going to do though is compete in the Extreme Stack-Off. This is the first year back for the Extreme Stack-Off that they've announced. We will compete in it. Hopefully we'll take the win. We'll see how Kong does, as well as we know that Kong is not our most extreme dog, but he's definitely more extreme than 99% of the dogs out there. And I guarantee that he will stack with the best and the biggest out there without any issues, even though being the smallest bull that we have in the yard. So let's see how he does. And as well, we're going to be doing an interview with Dave, discussing where the ABKC is heading, where the breed is heading, and information on that people keep asking questions about. What's happening with the extremes, what's happening with the Merles, what's happening with micros, where's the breed going, what is the breed supposed to look like, and all of these things that a lot of people seem to be confused, that I've been preaching about. We're going to clarify that out with Dave. We're going to sit down and have a conversation with him at the Nationals. So follow through this episode because it's going to be really interesting. Everyone sees it. All right, so we're sitting here with Dave Wilson, the owner and CEO of the ABKC. So Dave's gonna tell us a little bit about today being the 20th anniversary of the ABKC event.
So first, welcome everybody. We're here at Nationals 2024 in Houston right now. This is the 20th year anniversary of ABKC, the American Bully breed, and we're doing it right here in Houston. The theme, obviously, Roaring 20s theme. So, I mean, it's an absolute honor to have been here for 20 years, to have created this breed and to still be around 20 years. We still got another 20 years to go, but do what?
Beanstalk son.
Oh, sorry, there's a beanstalk son. You know, took little precedence over my part, but yeah. What do you know? But anyway, yeah, 20-year anniversary, 20 years ABKC, 20 years in American Bully, so we're having a great time here.
So I want to say I've showed up to every single ABKC event since the first one, which was in Detroit, Michigan. Remember that?
Yes.
First Nationals ABKC was in Detroit, Michigan. I used to live in the Detroit metro suburb area as the Gibraltar Center, if I recall correctly. And I believe Hallie B was a dog that won the Nationals, if I remember that year, right? Half won the Nationals. Oh, but she won something that year, didn't she? Or was it the year after?
No, she was the first female grand champion, but she did not win that national.
She didn't win Nationals?
No, Half won it.
I'm thinking of another show. Yeah, okay, all right. So anyways, this is how far back these days go. So, but I recall these dogs were severely extreme for that era. Half maybe not so much, in my opinion, but I know Hallie B was when she came from you, and I remember a lot of these dogs are very extreme dogs, and obviously they're not to the level that we have today. You know, we've came on
their time frame.
For that time frame, they were considered extreme, and I think one of the big things that Dave and I discuss quite often is that people are a little bit lost. I think they lost the idea and the understanding of the American Bully. They mistake the building blocks that we had in that time for the final dog that we were supposed to have.
I think the problem is that in those days we were transitioning from the American Pit Bull Terrier to and creating. That was really even before the concept, That was 2004. So we're creating a breed. So a lot of the original dogs and a lot of us original breeders had bully pit bulls, for that breed it was bully. But in the process of creating a new breed, I mean, we hadn't yet gotten to that level, obviously, because we're in the beginning phases. So, we're still in the building phases. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but there's a lot of misconception of people thinking that time frame was when what the breed should be. And no, that time frame was a transitional time when we were just starting to create the American Bully.
Correct. Yeah. So that's the main thing that people need to understand. The idea is to end up with dogs that are massively extreme, dogs that has maybe not the conformation of 7, but that look like 7. They look like King Kong. They look like dog style Magoo a little bit, but a little cleaner. But
the concept of the American Bully was always to be a breed that had extreme features.
Correct.
But to be a functional breed. So we were always trying to create a breed that we could put the mass amount on head, bone, muscle, these type of things, extreme features, but still be a functional dog that could still move, that could still perform regular tasks of being a pet, that that again wouldn't fall apart. So that's the whole concept of the breed, was to put as much as we could on the breed without the breed falling apart.
Right. So and I want to mention on that subject exactly. I remember when Dave and I discussed this. I think it was like 2008, 2009. We were in Amsterdam.
If you're gonna bring up dates, I have no clue.
Yeah, I think it was Amsterdam. We were in Amsterdam.
Amsterdam was that was the show that you guys threw.
Yeah, the first the first ABKC show was in Amsterdam that we threw. Muscletone threw the show. So actually, we discussed this conversation then. And what people don't understand, it's very hard to put a lot of mass on a dog and have it not fall apart. And that's why the misconception, people think that if the dog is so heavy and so bulky and so muscular, that it's not healthy. Well, we've proven that to be false. Magoo's alive today, 15 years old. 15, I mean, and still kicking and breeding. His sister passed away 2 days ago, guys. I just want to let you know she was put to sleep because she was peeing in her sleep on her bed and pissing in the house. She couldn't hold it anymore. But so she didn't die of natural causes. She's also 15, obviously. Sambo, his brother, is still alive. Bean's alive. Claude's 14, he's alive. Bison's 14, he's alive. They're all alive. They're breeding. Actually, Magoo's sister produced a litter at 12. So, and these are massive dog, guys. I'm telling you, and they're all titled dogs, by the way. Every one of them is a titled extreme American Bully. And they're massive. They're 90, 85, 90 pound, 100 pound, and a pocket class. And when we tell you guys pocket, we're not talking like borderline standard. We really mean really pocket, like 15 inches and below. Right, so to be carried that kind of mass and weight and still live that long, still function and still be healthy, proves to everyone that it does not mean that it's bad for the breed, that it's bad for the animal.
No. I mean,
that's the point.
I mean, we are breeding a breed that's difficult to breed because we're asking a lot. We're asking for the most. We're asking to put the most on a dog you can do without hindering health, without hindering movement and all of those things. So it's a difficult breed to breed, period.
Very
As you
difficult.
know,
Very hard.
you as obviously one of the main breeders has mastered that, the look and everything. But it is. We're truly breeding a difficult breed. I mean,
It is, absolutely. It's a very difficult thing to do. If it was that easy, we wouldn't be so successful. So, but
not only that, but a lot of breeders and nowadays do go overboard.
They do.
There's a lot of the dogs that are beyond what we meant them to be because they are no longer functional and
Correct.
no longer healthy. And that's what we're trying to get. That's why we have shows like this. And
Yeah.
trying to teach people what the breed truly is. And
Right.
again, I mean, that's what it truly is. It's a
Exactly.
extreme breed, but a functional breed. You know?
Correct. And I think the main thing is you have to understand the thin line between conformation and handicap. So, you can have a dog that has slight conformation faults versus a dog that's just straight out handicapped, and that does not need to be bred at all, no matter how massive he is.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, right now it's still a young breed, 20 years in.
Yeah.
That's very young for a breed. We're going to see some flaws still at this stage. We're still early in the breed, but there's a difference, like you said. And the difference is in the conformation ring, you're going to be out having dogs with minor flaws. But when you're dealing with deformalities and things like that, that's a different thing. And
It's a whole other thing.
that's not what we want to strive for in the American Bully. That's not what you'll see in the conformation shows. That's not the direction that we're going.
No,
A lot
we
of
don't
people
want
take the easy way out and they just breed a dog for the all mass and nothing else, and that's
Correct.
not what the American Bully is. It's
Absolutely.
a balance. So.
And I want to also say, don't confuse the fact that some of these dogs are handicapped. It's not because of their mass. It's just from poor breeding, because I see the exact same defects in the skinny little dogs.
So, it's completely.
It has nothing to do because we're breeding extreme dogs or we're getting handicaps. No, it's just that they got to the extreme by using crappy stock to get there to start with. It has nothing to do with the mass.
Well, a lot of them focus just on mass and nothing else, and that's the
Correct.
problem.
As well, yep.
You can't do that. It's a balanced breed, so you have to focus on everything.
It's easy to make a monster, to be honest. It's really easy to make an extreme dog, but to have it sound and strong and not fall apart, that's the difficult part. That's the very difficult part. The balance, make dogs like calm.
But when
stuff
you
like
do
that.
achieve that, you have a dog that wins in every way. It'll win in your stack off, it'll win in your conformation ring. The few that have mastered the art of it, then you have a dog that excels in every level of an American Bully.
And I don't know if you remember, but when we did the Bean versus the Exotic, American Bully versus Exotic.
I remember when
Bean.
you had done that,
Yeah, so the Exotic was a big bad movement that Dave and I were both against for a while because we still kind of are. Because what it does is it brings just a bad idea to the American Bully because people mistake them for American Bullies very often, even though they're not registered with the ABKC. And they're not healthy dogs. They're very, very, very poorly bred dogs that it's sad to look at it. It breaks my heart because, they end up dying at 4, 5, 3 years old, 6 if you're lucky. It's not a breed we want to be breeding. And we want to prove that the American Bully was more extreme, more impressive, and better. So we took Grand Champion, ABKC Grand Champion, most known as Mr. Bean, and we toured the world. I mean, the entire world, and stacked every big name exotic dog there was. He destroyed all the competition. And it worked out in our favor. Dog ended up getting for $1 million for him. But at the end of the day, it proved to the world that the ABKC and the American Bully is where it's at. So that's guys, remember that you can have a grand champion and a massive extreme dog, and you could turn every head left and right.
Because it was always a wow factor dog.
Always
that's
a wow
exactly. But it's a wow factor dog meant for a confirmation ring. So
From day one.
And there's a lot of confusion with the exotic. A lot of people think that we're trying to push them away. The thing is, exotic is something different. It's not the American
Completely
Bully.
different.
And it's not what we did. Like a lot of people think, oh, that's what you all did when you created the American Bully. No, what we did is we decided to create a different breed and create a new name for a breed, give it new standards, build the building blocks. So we separated ourselves from the American Pit Bull Terrier when we created the breed. People breeding exotics, really, if they're trying to create a new breed, they really need to separate and move in their own direction. I'm not a fan because of the unhealthy issues. I'm also not a fan because they don't have any real guidelines to it, no rhyme or reason. They don't have standards. They don't have, all these things. So for me, I don't even really consider it a breed. I consider it more of a name that they attach to a lot of different dogs that are outside of what an American Bully truly is. But I'm not hating on it. It's just something completely different, and it's not the American Bully. And I want to make sure there's definite clarification between what an exotic and what an American Bully is.
Very different breed. It's very different breed. Now, the other thing I want to bring up too, Dave, is I'm really excited about this too. Is now you've allowed the extreme back in next year, correct?
No.
And the Merles?
Well, here's the thing. The Merles have been petitioning for the past 10 years to be allowed to enter the conformation ring. They were in the conformation ring up until 2011 or something. And then we stopped allowing that for conformation, but we allowed it for registration. So the Merles have never gone anywhere in the breeding program. They've never gone anywhere in the brood stock and registrations. They just weren't allowed back in the ring. So this has been a year of allowing fun shows at ABKC shows to highlight the Merle ABKC registered American Bullies, which are petitioning for the next year. The other issue that we're also having is there's a lot of quality dogs that are under the pocket standard height. And it's still a dilemma of what we're working to do. I mean, and there's a lot of different things. You can drop the pocket height. We can add a new category. We are in the process of displaying these dogs right now. The Merle, we've done it all year. Next year, we're going to be in the process of displaying the dogs that are under that. And then we will have a solution at some point. But we're going to let a year go by with everybody seeing them and seeing the quality of their dogs and seeing the progression before we make a decision. As far as the extreme, and truth be told, we are still, everything that we're saying right now is, it's an extreme breed.
It's an extreme
and
breed.
It's an
Every
extreme
dog should be extreme.
breed.
I don't care what color, what size, what height.
Right. It's just that, like Bashar said earlier, if you do it right, you can have all of these extreme features without having the dogs fall apart. You can have all these extreme features, but still have a functional, correct, capable dog. And that's really what the American Bully is. So we are still pushing. We're not trying to add the extreme. We are still in the process of explaining this is what it really should be. You referenced 7. 7 is a look that kind of stands out a little bit different in the ring. And I'm going to use somebody else's dog in this reference because
absolutely.
Shar does Muscletonebullys. You have all of your own things, so I don't need
them anyway.
I'm going to use this for a reference. So 7. 7, I believe his height is within standard. If it's in
18.
pocket, I apologize.
No,
I think
18.
it's standard, right?
He's 18,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so standard. That dog, we're not talking about flaws or anything like that, but the look of that dog is what the look of the standard really should be. So this shouldn't be a dog that looks out of place in the ring.
No,
he should be, all the other dogs should be looking of that type of mass and build, in the ring, in the standard class. I mean, you have a few out there like Blue, Samson, you've seen other standards that have the mass, but a dog like 7 should not look out of place in the standard class. He should look like the rest of the dogs. So
yeah, but he makes Blue and all those other dogs look small.
We have to see them together, so you might have different. I'm just referring to the fact that those standard dogs should have mass and they should have bone, and a dog like 7 should not be out of place.
No, he's not out of place. I think 7 is, for me, the best example of the standard class I've seen in the past 5 years. In the past 5 years, I've seen others in the past, but 5 years now, standard-wise, look-wise, mass-wise, 7 is definitely. Yeah, he's definitely it for me.
No, he
standard
is.
class.
I mean, we have a difference of opinion on some dogs, but I was happy the year that you had your Blue up in weight, you had your Samson, when you had a lot of that type of dog in the standard class. I was happy with that because it was finally an era where the standards are finally starting to have the mass and look that we want. So,
They're getting there. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. And next year is going to be a whole new year. It's going to be a whole new ball game. And I think there's a lot of changes coming. And I think it's going to be exciting because it opens a window for a lot of things. Not only for the Merle market, the micro as well market, because now it's not going to be considered out of place. Hopefully, I mean it's up to Dave.
We're going to have a solution. We won't be called micro, but we will have a solution.
No, I think that, in my opinion, to a registry, I would, like you said, I would just change the standard height for pocket.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that come into place for that, and we'll discuss that at a later time. But it's hard because when you do that and you drop the height, you need to drop the upper end too. Because
you just take the standard. No, you take the standard down a couple inches or an inch, 16 maybe.
This is one of the options of 3 different things we're looking at.
Correct. Yep. So that's it for today, man. Dave, it's a great turnout. We had Kong go into the extreme stack off. Kong won, so it was a good day for us as well. And
I didn't even get to see that.
You didn't get to see it?
No,
we got it on camera. We got it on camera.
Watch it later on. Yeah, I never got to see it.
And I believe Cooper judged. Yeah, Cooper did the judging, so that was nice to see. I've never seen Coop judge before.
He never has, but he
there
knows
you go.
dogs. So Coop's been here from day one. So
I mean, definitely knows his dogs. He's a big part of the registry. So
yeah.
All right, so that's it for today. We'll see you guys in the next episode.